Welcome in to the Monday Morning Quarterback UK with your boys Ben, Dami, Kriski and Bids. How are we doing today, boys? Kriski, talk to us.
Yeah, I'm doing well. Yeah, can't complain. I'm excited. I'm on off my holidays next week. Well, not holiday. So I'm going to do my Ironman next week. So it's not really a holiday.
It's like the opposite of holiday.
Yeah. So yeah, 1 week out. So it's just been non-stop training. But other than that, been good. No complaints. How about yourself, Bids?
I'm alright. We went to the NFL experience on Saturday. It's good. There's a lot more people than I thought there'd be. I know there's obviously the NFL is in London at the moment, but I didn't expect there to be that many people at that event.
Yeah.
We tried our little combine. I think what events did we do? We did punting, we did a wide receiver challenge, and we did a broad jump and a vertical jump. Yeah. And there was varying quality in the performances.
Oh really? Who came out on top?
I'm gonna go with me.
Do you know what? I'm gonna say Ailish.
No. Ben was the kicking was atrocious on this side. Yeah. We had 3 attempts and not a single one hit one.
Yeah. Seriously,
I got 2.
Ailish got 2 as well.
I got the height.
And no,
it was just a bit.
Bear in mind, it was 10 yards.
Wow. It was like 13. It was a bit right.
13
so
yards.
What was Ben's claim that he could hit a 35?
No. I don't think he said. I don't think he said that.
I said 20.
I think he lowballed it. I went around 30, but I'd changed my technique because I just banged it.
I've never seen someone kick an NFL ball like that. You drove it.
I was making sure because if you hit it hard, it's gonna go that distance. All it needs to go was 13 yards. So I was like, I'm getting it. And then the third one, I kicked the floor. And then it went to the right.
Did you try and do that because I told you that you only actually win if you like put it through the netting at the back and I'm gonna have to just hit it as hard as possible.
Don't worry about it. Because you watch everyone because the lines were long. I was watching everyone's technique, and some people were like fully like knuckleballing, and I was like, that's not right. Wow. So I just hit it hard and just to get over it, and then the third one I kind of hit the floor.
Hopefully some of you guys were there because it was fun. Yeah. Next year I definitely recommend it if they come back. They probably will, but like we saw a bunch of people there, like Phoebe Schechter.
Yeah.
She was there.
Jay Osi was there. The commissioner was there. What's his name?
Yeah, Roger
Goodell was there.
Oh really?
Yeah, on stage.
Wow.
Just there.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh, man.
It was a cool day.
Was Bill's Mafia there?
Everywhere.
I was going to say, because I saw clips and they took over a pub up the road from my flat, and I was so tempted just to go up there because the scenes are unreal. Yeah. They have turned it up this weekend.
The outfits were silly.
Yeah, great.
Like they were crazy. Like people in like full tracksuits, like
I enjoy it.
Skinned on.
Like we mug people off for having like full kit.
Yeah.
You're gonna finish that? I'm not. And they're just out here, not in the kit. They're just in the gear. Wow. But yeah, we got videos of all of our attempts, so we'll share them. We'll put them into a clip of some sort. You guys got to see Ben's broad jump. It was hilarious. He was like getting level with the kids.
There's no
way. That's so deep.
So
bear in mind the combine record is 12. Guess what Ben got? 4.
Wow. You don't rate him.
4.
You don't rate him out.
I got 6.
So that's not
6.2. It wasn't that bad. He's making it seem like it was horrendous. It wasn't that bad.
So was there a 40-yard dash? Because because for everyone listening, there was a claim when we were at the game the other week that Ben said he could run the 40-yard dash in how quick did you say?
5 and change. Was it like 5.3? I think I said.
I'd like to see it. I don't know.
You got that.
You don't think I got 5 and change?
No.
I saw you jump, man. I don't think you can run.
Honestly.
What do you mean? I absolutely cooked that guy in the wide receiver challenge.
To be fair, you did. You'll see it. He did. That was the one where he actually turned up.
And then, I got a fat bruise on my knee. I committed to that route.
Of course you did.
I committed to the route.
Yeah, and he almost went through the net.
Yeah.
I ran a little one cut seam and then just hammered into the barrier.
Yeah.
I caught it though.
Yeah,
I caught it.
It was good to be fair.
Yeah. Alright, well, I'm gonna have to come down next year.
Yeah.
So I'm going to miss that.
Yeah.
Alright, that was me. That was majority of the week, and then Sunday obviously just watching the football. Obviously Arsenal won.
And then another cracking game week, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was great. Sorry that we missed you. Let's go.
Well, I did what you did. I went to the anniversary.
Also, what anniversary?
Yeah, it was my anniversary with my girlfriend, lovely Eilish.
That's getting cut.
Yeah, we won't talk about the field goal drill. Probably won't talk about the wide receiver drill for me either. Actually, we won't talk about the broad jump as well.
Yeah, that was also tragic. Like, you're meant to be athletic. Like, I don't expect anything from Ben, but for you
I couldn't keep my balance.
to do sport.
I've never been balanced, so I couldn't keep my balance on the jump.
You couldn't even record a jump.
Yeah, can't believe you drug me out. He got an NA.
Yeah, but he got distance and then fell over.
But my first one, I got 5, and I was like, I'm making sure I land it, so I at least get a recordable score.
It was still embarrassing. They shouldn't record anything below 7, to be fair.
7?
Did you boys do the podcast
I got
at all?
I got 9.
Fair.
I'm telling you, watch
I
my
got
wide
9.
receiver. Watch my wide receiver challenge. Yeah, we did it.
It was
Proud. Cooked him. I said I was going to call out one of the guys that worked here. Like, first guy I saw, I was like, "We're going." Cooked him.
To be fair.
Yeah, you did cook him. To be fair.
I got a low pass, so.
Oh yeah,
That's it for him.
Oh yeah, because
he
I did you up.
Fair, but he threw it bare low. I had to dive down. I'm like,
No, to be fair, he threw it in the window that was there.
It just could have been higher. Like the window was this. He threw it.
I had decent coverage. The problem was like it was proper shredded AstroTurf. I was like, I'm not diving anywhere. He dove for it. I was like, I'm not.
It was
diving
low. I was
this.
like, ooh.
Committed wide receiver. That's what we like.
Yeah, I committed to mine. I hammered a barrier, but I wasn't cutting myself up.
Yeah.
It was horrendous. And
You're
also,
gonna
the chance of
die.
me not catching it is going to be pretty high at that. Because I was like, I'm just going to look stupid if I do this.
And the thing is, there were quite a lot of people watching as well.
Oh, so
because
there's pressure.
There's the people behind you in the queue, and then there was just people standing around watching other people do it.
Now the biggest pressure was on the field goal.
The field goal.
The people
So
like
much
it's like the official camera people taking pictures. I'm like, can you not? Like,
Oh, you three ended
got
up on
into
the
my head.
socials this week. I
No,
can't wait to see that.
I definitely got in my head when I was doing the kicking challenge. I was,
yeah, it was pretty rough to watch. I'm not gonna lie.
At least I didn't like kick the floor or anything. And
I got
hurt
2
myself.
still. I didn't hurt myself.
Didn't look comfortable.
Yeah, but the thing is, when we do
You can see it in the videos. It's like,
when we do a proper field goal challenge, you can't kick the ball the way you did.
I know that.
Yeah. So
I
at
know-
least
no, I
I
know
kicked
that
it the
for
way
sure.
I would kick it in a field goal.
And miss. All right, that's enough.
Yeah.
You'll see. You'll see.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, you're gonna see.
All right, let's get into the episode. I think last couple of weeks we've been given a Colorado Buffaloes update, so we're gonna keep that going. Ben, let's hear it.
Yeah, very very brief one. This time, just keep it tight and short. They were in Arizona against Arizona State, so couple of things that happened in that game. So just kind of pre-game, they were 3-point underdog, 3-point favourites. So you would expect Colorado to win. They went for it on 2 4th downs, including 4th and 8 on their first drive in the first quarter. Rogue.
4th and 8.
4th and 8 in their first drive.
Wow.
I was watching this game like, is he okay? What's he doing? But he just kept going for it.
Trust his team.
Yeah, it finished 27-24, so the bookies had it pretty much bang on. Arizona tied it up with 50 seconds left, and then Shad Sanders gets them within field goal range, and their kicker hit a 43-yarder. Really good game. 43-yarder. 43-yarder in college is,
Yeah, that's what
big.
I was saying.
Yes.
But Shad Sanders got sacked 5 times in that game. They were on him. And although they won the game, Deion Sanders in the press conference wasn't happy.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
So, yeah, I've got a quote here. He said, "Wonderful win, but we played like hot garbage, and I'm trying to figure it out. I'm sick of this. We're better than this."
Hot garbage. Not even regular garbage.
Hot garbage, he said, after they won 27-24.
Oh, you wanted to say a lot worse than that.
Yeah.
I mean, he expects better, right?
It was, clearly, because they were competing against, and they were beating TCU in week 1, and people were hyping them up to be playoff candidate, and now it's like, you're just beating Arizona State. It's like, maybe you're not that,
So the hype
struggling
means-
against the Sun Devils?
Yeah.
Sun Devils. I mean, that's what we need. We need the nicknames as well. And
Sun Devils,
Yeah,
yeah.
Sun Devils.
Sun Devils, man. He doesn't care what he says in the press conference, man. He's just honest. But yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah. Interesting game though. I enjoyed watching it. That 4th and 8 was wild on the first drive, but very good game.
Oh, that's right.
They're breaking records every week with their volume of watchers as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you had some big
massive
names there.
numbers. Yeah, and big names at the games, but they have massive viewing figures. So 3 weeks in a row, or 4 weeks in a row now, they have broken the viewing record.
Is that TV viewing? Or?
Yeah, TV viewing record.
Wow.
So they've broken it every single week on themselves.
Wow.
So they've broken the TV viewing record for a regular season game, and they broke it again, then again.
That's just
week on
insane.
week.
It's going to carry on.
Is that for watching Colorado Buffaloes or for watching college football?
I think that's college football game.
Wow.
And it's college football game full stop. That's college football game full stop. I'm pretty sure. I will correct this. I will look. I'll make sure after that. So we'll put a correction in the comments if I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure that's college football games. More people watch that than Texas Alabama.
Wow.
In week 1.
And then,
Texas Alabama was not week 1, but Texas Alabama is a huge game generally.
I mean, they're turning to the people's team. It's like there's various like YouTube football, like English football teams, like hashtag United that are the people's team. Like they're the people's team.
Yeah, I mean, fair play to them.
Fair play.
Yeah.
All right, let's circle back a little bit. Let's go to Kriski's unknown player performance of the week, which usually isn't someone unknown, but
no. Actually,
it's difficult.
I've got one today. Actually,
Okay,
it's Jamar Chase.
Get out. Get out.
No, obviously cracking performance by Jamar. Back to his best, 3 touchdowns and 90 yards. But like Biz was saying, it's getting a bit harder now, getting further into the season. These unknown performances aren't really turning up. So I think we might mix it up and just go kind of big performances. And one that stood out for me this week was Zach Moss. Mainly because Jonathan Taylor was coming back, big contract, did not phase him, and he turned up by 195 combined yards, 165 of those were not rushing, and he got 2 touchdowns. So huge game for him, and a big win as well for the Colts.
Had him on my fantasy bench.
That's worrisome.
Yeah.
That's
like
poor
Alex was messaging me a week being like, like Jonathan Taylor, like he's coming back. Zach Moss's value's going to go down. Biggest week of his year so far.
Wow.
He's got to perform though. With Jonathan Taylor coming back, he's breathing. He's not even breathing down his neck. He's already ahead of him. He's just getting phased back in.
Just motivates you though if you're a running back like that. 195 combined yards, 165 rushing against the number 1 rushing defense in the league.
And then he'll never take another snap again.
But does it make sense that they just paid him such a big contract when they already have another running back who can do just as well as him or close to what he can do? It doesn't make sense to spend that much money on the running back.
I agree.
Was it just the case they didn't want him to go anywhere else?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's
They were
right.
like, they were either
He was
keep
probably
him
going to go to
or...
another AFC team and then they would regret it. But
I wonder if they didn't really know what they had with Zach Moss. I wonder if they were maybe just like, we know what we have with Jonathan Taylor. Like he's still part of our team, and even if they got rid of him, they were still going to have to pay him for the year.
sure.
So I guess they probably thought it's better just to pay him a bit more and have him on side and have him with the team, because people like him in the locker room. He's a liked guy in the locker room as well.
Yeah.
So what does it say about your running back room if you're literally binning off your best running back? It sort of kills the running back position. So I wouldn't have done it, but clearly they like him and they think he has something. But yeah, Zach Moss balled out in that game.
Is he a rookie?
Zach Moss,
It's 3rd year in the league, I
he's
think.
been around a little while, but he's not getting paid really anything. But,
None of them are.
well, exactly. Yeah,
We're not getting into that.
balled out.
Okay, cool. All right, let's go into the main chunk, everyone's game of the week. We will start with Ben. Let's hear it.
So I try and keep a little bit of a college flavour. Obviously, the Colorado Buffaloes update every week, but keep a bit of a college flavour to it. So USC played Arizona, which was very good. So it should have been a fairly easy win. Like heavy favourites USC. Arizona took them to triple overtime.
Just explain that quickly.
Yeah, so like we said in the previous episode, or one of the early episodes, the differences between college and NFL. In overtime, it's not like full 75 yards, like play from your own 25. It's play from your opposing team's 25, so you try and score a touchdown when you're within 25 yards, and you do that for 2 overtimes each. And assuming you both score or both don't score in those 2 overtimes, it's then a 2-point conversion.
Right.
So you go from the 2-yard line to try and convert, and you have 1 play.
Okay.
And Caleb Williams ran for the well, exactly right.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams ran to the corner for his 2-point conversion. Really good game, hugely entertaining. Noah Fifita, who's the quarterback for Arizona, threw for 303 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Wow.
Like
you lose
5
the game.
Yeah, it's tough.
Rough.
Thing is, USC just score so many, but their biggest problem is they just can't tackle in space.
Yeah.
It was their problem last year, and if anything, it's getting worse.
Tackles.
DBs are struggling. The DBs, their back four are struggling. Their front seven. So they generally play a 4-3. So if anyone doesn't know, that means they have 4 on the line and then 3 linebackers. Their front seven are pretty good. Like they're relatively good stopping the run. But as soon as they get runners in space, i.e. like one-on-one with their DBs or any space against their DBs, they can't tackle. They give up too many big plays.
Is there an issue that they fly into tackles and don't stay sort of composed? And like when I think about tackling, I think about how rugby players tackle. And there's very little missed tackles. I know there's probably a lot less space.
It's the space.
A lot less space. But even if let's say your centres broke through the line and it's the centre against the fullback and he's going straight and he's probably not going to miss that tackle unless he just steps it or.
I think there's very few players on a rugby pitch as well though that can actually do like big steps and big moves the way that like pacey wide receivers can. The wide receivers in American football. No. It's not that they can't do steps. I just mean wide receivers in college and American football are just often really small and can just make quick moves. So you've got to be fast as a DB. You can't be a big defensive back. You'll get cooked every single time. So you have to be both strong and quite skinny. Not skinny necessarily, but like pacey, but also strong. It's a really hard position. It's probably one of the hardest positions to play because you're just out on an island and you'll get exposed.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I think NFL players say DBs are the hardest position to play.
It must be.
Really hard.
Pressure's on you.
Yeah, they get a lot of broken tackles. They don't wrap up well. So yeah, it looks like they're just either not strong enough or their technique isn't quite right. They're not wrapping up properly. So
I've always thought it was technique. I always see people sprinting in 100 miles an hour and just dive at them. If they just either like stop, cut, just palm them off, like you're gonna miss. Like just it's like a rush of blood every time someone comes at them. It's like, I'm gonna knock him out. Just relax, tackle him. Obviously, easy said and done. But
Definitely.
yeah, but they're really struggling. They're giving up a lot of points, and I think that's probably what's going to hold them back from being in the playoffs this year. I had them going to the playoffs. I think you can't give up that many points. Like you can get into shootouts with teams, sure, but you're not going to be able to do that against a good defensive team. It's going to be a problem.
So wait, is it the scheme or is it the actual players? Like the talent, they just don't have talented players.
Well, this is it, right? There's usually a couple of reasons why. So it's either a coaching issue, a scheme issue, or a personnel issue, like a player issue. And I don't know if they're certain on the coaching. I think they're fairly confident in the scheme. So they're fairly confident in the kind of structure and plays that they're drawing up in terms of defensive plays. I think they think the players aren't right. Obviously, the coaching staff are going to think the players aren't right, but they haven't sorted out the defensive backs. So I think they'll probably try and go to the portal and fix that up next year, or bring some 5-star recruits. Because if they can get close to the playoffs this year, playoffs expand to a 12-team playoffs next year. They'll be in the playoffs next year if they can get some DBs, and they could give themselves a decent shout at it.
What were the rankings before the game?
Arizona were outside and USC were 9th.
What do you mean outside? Was that outside 20?
Outside top 25.
25?
Yeah, it's top 25 and then everyone else is
I still find that jokes.
Hot garbage.
It's 25 and everyone else is hot garbage.
Yeah.
They're not hot garbage.
Yeah.
But USC dropped to 10th after that.
That's crazy.
You can't get taken to triple overtime by Arizona.
Fair.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Dami, that's it.
So for me, it was the Jets at the Broncos. So the Hackett Bowl.
Hackett Bowl.
Yeah, the Hackett Bowl. Yeah, I think for me it was such a good game, and it was a 3-point game with 4 minutes left. Broncos were going down the field to basically tie or win the game, so it was completely in their hands. And then Russell Wilson gets the ball punched out of his hands, and then Bryce Hall runs it in for a 39-yard fumble return touchdown with 30 seconds left, which basically ends the game. And I think also because of all the stuff that was said by Sean Payton, the fact that Nathaniel Hackett was the former Broncos coach, and he got sacked before. I think he got sacked before or just after Christmas.
Yeah. It was during the season for sure.
Yeah, it was midway through the season. It was after they lost to the Rams by like 50 or something. It was just, there was so much like leading up to the game, and the fact that both teams actually had the same record going into the game, and so it meant so much, and then obviously what actually happened in the game. So yeah, that was definitely my game of the week.
Yeah.
Okay. Short and sweet. Alright, cool. Kriski. That's it.
I went for what we all pretty much said what we wanted the game of the week to be. So I went for the 49ers Cowboys.
Yeah.
Obviously, turned out not to be a close game.
But
the 49ers kind of, put Dallas back in their place and firmly put themselves as one of the Super Bowl favourites in my eyes. I don't know if you boys agree.
100%.
Well,
I had them having the best record in the year this year at the start of the season. So
I think Brock
Just
pulled
don't
it
rate.
out.
Just don't rate their quarterback.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Still stand by that? What are we on, week 5? I think by week 10.
There's no
We'll turn
chance. When they're 10-0.
If the quarterback is as good as you say is, they'll win the Super Bowl because the rest of the team is absolutely stacked.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And I think it just showed like that defense just
Cooked it.
ruined them, and it shows as well that the Cowboys have been relying on their own defense, and they come against a good offense who can actually score touchdowns, run the ball, create all sorts of problems, and they crumble. So then without a good defense performance, that offense just looks lost.
this is exactly what I said. Why this would be the game of the week is because Dak has not. That offense has not performed at all against really poor teams. They still haven't performed. I think he only had 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
By himself before the game yesterday.
So like I said in last week's episode, was their defense is just beat up on weak teams.
Yeah.
And at no point did they look like they would do that against a good team. They played an Arizona Cardinals team that were fair, that played pretty well and lost.
Yeah.
To be honest, we all predicted 49ers would win that game.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would be 32 points, but I'm not shocked they won by a big margin. Once they get a lead, it's hard to catch up because their D line pin their ears back and gun you.
Mm-hmm.
Like once they have you in like 3rd and long, they're after you. Nick
chances,
Bosa's on you.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, how many sacks were there, and then Dak threw 3 picks as well. And it was
That's what happens.
just
I mean, when you have to chase the game.
Yeah, it's what happens.
Yeah.
Just on the pass rush, is it just me or the pass rushers in all defenses just having a crazy seasons, or is this regular?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a good question. I feel like it's Khalil Mack excluded because that was rogue.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I actually think it's been fairly regular.
But there's a lot like Fred Warner's still doing bits.
He's a really
Nick
good player.
Bosa. Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
He made some crazy plays yesterday. I didn't even know he was before.
Aiden Hutchinson.
Almost tore his whole leg off after picking the ball. But
Well, I think every year players get more athletic, right? And also it must be so hard as an offensive lineman, right? Because realistically, you are probably the most unathletic player on your team, and you have to win against someone who's as big as you, but also fast. So it must be so hard as a defensive lineman because you're expected to win every time, your matchup every time, and it's just not possible.
Yeah.
The only thing I'd add to that though is 2 things. Terrence Williams had Micah Parsons locked down that whole game.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Like Terrence Williams is the number 1 graded left tackle. Did Micah Parsons get anywhere near Purdy?
No.
Nope. Not even a little bit. The other thing I would say is, the second thing is, said this in the previous episode as well, is offensive lines often need time together. And I think the more time into the season you get, the better the offensive lines get, and I think the sacks. I don't know if sacks necessarily go down overall, because you'll have work, like certain offensive lines will get worse, but the top offensive or defensive sack leaders don't keep the same pace, I don't think. I think often because the offensive lines they're playing against often just slightly get better. Not always, but it certainly feels like the longer into the season you get, the offensive lines build up chemistry, and it's much harder then for those sack leaders to actually keep it up for the whole season. Interesting to see how that looks from a statistical perspective over the last couple of years. I'll have a look into it, but like TJ Watt's obviously being himself.
I haven't even mentioned some of them, like Myles Garrett, who I had down for defensive player of the year. Some of them, they're making crazy plays.
They just seem to have stepped up, and they just seem to get, like you said, quicker, stronger, just year on year. It's just the talent coming through, and it's just as an offensive lineman, it's just getting so hard.
Jalen Carr looks dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, he's all over the game.
But so that was my game of the week.
Okay, I'll close it out. I'll go for one that everyone probably thought would be the dud game of the week, which was the Bears and Commanders. Thursday night football. I don't think anyone really, well for us, I don't think anyone really wanted to stay up and watch it. I'm not sure even people in the States wanted to, to particularly watch it. But it turned out to be a great game. 60 points ended, Bears won at 40-20. And I think we mentioned Fields last week had an almost good game. It was a good game, and then it wasn't. This week it was like probably his first complete game of the season.
And I had him on my bench.
That's 32 points on the bench. I think it was just a good game to watch. I mean, I did fall asleep at some point because it was like
a great game.
It was like 2:30 in the morning, man, or whatever. DJ Moore with all three receiving touchdowns. They just balled out. Commanders didn't really have an answer to them, and Justin Fields just seemed like the player that everyone probably thought he was going to be when he got drafted.
Yeah, it just seemed to click, didn't it? I think throwing the ball, he was throwing out some absolute dimes. DJ Moore balled out. I think he had over 200 yards. And he was. Fields as well was rushing the ball, and he just seems to be moving so well.
Seemed confident. Seems like I think in the press conference he was talking about not thinking, bro. It seemed like he was just playing on instinct. He was in full form or top form.
That's when he's at his best, really. And I think that's the kind of quarterback. I still think he's a capable quarterback. I think that's the kind of performances. Is just consistency with him. I think.
I think he has a high ceiling, but. I think he just came up against a really weak Commanders. I mean, he's played the Broncos, who are clearly not very good, and then he played against the Commanders, who were on a short week, and it looks like they had a short week because they were poor.
Commander looked off rather than the Bears looking. Like the Bears looked better, but I think that was more a game about how the Commanders looked than about how the Bears looked. Like, do we actually think the Bears are going to suddenly have a big resurgence?
No.
Not even slightly.
I'm just going from what my expectations were to what the games were.
There's
other great games who was it that got blown out to 0?
Saints against the Patriots.
Yeah, Saints against
Does
the
that count as a good game?
I don't even know. That's why none of us have mentioned it. But I think it's worth mentioning. Like
it's worth mentioning.
How often do teams get blown out like that and not score a point?
Never.
That's happened twice this season already.
Almost never does it.
Who's the other team, Dami?
Moving on.
Almost zero. And almost never happens that a team actually gets 0 points in a game.
That feels hard to do. Like, kick a field goal.
It's so
surely you get into field goal range.
It can't be that hard to get in field goal range, but apparently it is. So
I would even try with a 70-yard field goal, man. You got to get something.
But the thing is,
if you concede a touchdown.
But if you miss a field goal, right, it's a turnover and down. Turnover and downs, right?
They can just catch it. And
you take over from that. Or you catch it and return it for a touchdown, which is what often happens if you don't make it.
No. But if you make it, but it's wide, then it's a turnover and downs.
How do you make it and it's wide?
You mean miss the
goes
field
out?
You miss the field goal, but it goes out of bounds.
That's very much
make
not
it and it's wide.
But he was making it in terms of length.
Okay.
If you don't get the distance.
Actually, if it does go wide.
They take over from where you kicked.
Okay. So there was some big games, and looking forward to the next week, which I may potentially be able to get us tickets for, but watch this space, we'll see.
That would be huge.
That would be huge.
All right, we'll go into moments of the week. Ben, we'll start off with you. Let's hear it.
Oh man, this one was rough. If I was this is a college game. If I was the athletic director, I'd have fired everyone on the spot. You can't do this in any level of sport. But to do this, you're effectively a semi-professional team. Like, you're basically professionals.
Yeah.
Oh, it was dread. So, 30 seconds after the game, Miami Hurricanes against Texas Tech, which is Patrick Mahomes' alma mater.
Okay. You're gonna have to explain alma mater because no one knows what that is.
His old uni.
Oh, cool.
He's an alumni.
Proceed.
So Patrick Mahomes is old school. For bits. So there's 30 seconds left. Miami Hurricanes, I knew you'd like that, are up 20-17, and they decide, instead of taking a knee to end the game, to run the ball for no reason whatsoever, and they got stripped. So the I think the linebacker punched, or one of the D linemen, I can't remember where. Or I'm going to post the clip to socials, but he punched the ball out. They got it back. They charged down the field and won the game.
That's just crazy. Like, you're right. They should have just fired themselves after that.
Yeah. The game was over. How do you?
That's something I do on Madden when there's 30 seconds. I'm like, let's just go for a big play.
Video game,
exactly.
Real life.
Fake punt just for no reason.
Yeah, just for to actually do that and then lose the game when he was.
My question was that a play call by the offensive coordinator or the head coach, or did the players take it into their own hands and forget what was going on in the game?
No.
Because there has to be a reason. Someone must have called that play, and they must not realise what the situation was.
How would they not realise?
It's on the head coach.
Bro, Tom Brady once forgot how many downs there were. He thought he had a 5th down.
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Yeah, that's Tom Brady.
At what level was this? How was this?
This was
in an NFL game.
Last year or 2 years ago. He thought he had a 5th down.
He is old. Probably got hit in the head a couple of times.
Okay.
A couple.
Yeah.
I mean, that happens.
It's on the head coach.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's on the head coach. Yeah. How do you let that happen?
There's no excuse for that.
I'm just trying to understand what happened. I just want an explanation.
Was there a press conference? I need to hear that. We'll find out.
Yeah, my guess is he probably thought that the other team had another timeout or something.
Yeah,
so he's thinking, I have to try and run the ball.
He must have thought that.
Yeah.
Because there's no explaining that.
Does a timeout even explain it?
Yeah, maybe.
Unless you're going to get the first down, no.
Yeah.
I mean, most teams, if they've got it, they'll probably run the ball still. But like, you need to know the situation you're in at the end of the game when you're up 3 points. Anyway.
Yeah,
horrendous. I mean, I put a laughing face in our notes because I was like, "This is hilarious." I was like, "How to lose your job in literally 30 seconds?" Damn.
Yeah, watch his face. We'll see if he actually loses his job.
That's rough. I don't want him to lose his job.
He should lose his job.
But damn, you can't do that.
You've got to answer some questions there about that. You've got to get there's something about that which is just off.
Yeah, it was tough. Hilarious to watch, but damn.
All right, Dami. Moment of the week.
Again, it's back to the Hackett Bowl. It's the
Hold on. Are you calling it the Hackett Bowl, or is that what people are calling it?
I think it's just me.
Oh no.
Carry on. Carry on.
I'm a part-time journalist in my spare time.
You are not anything. Carry on.
Okay, so basically, I think it was the fact that they gave Hackett the game ball and he was getting congratulated by all the coaches and players because it was such a big thing for him, purely because of what Sean Payton said. And the fact he had such a bad time at the Broncos, so the fact that the Jets all rallied around him and made it seem like he was the reason why they won that game, I thought that was pretty sweet.
You're doing a nice one this time.
We're
going to get onto the thick stuff this when you rinse the whole league.
Didn't it get negative though because they didn't shake hands at the end of the game?
Don't worry about that.
Yeah. I mean, and Salah kind of called out the Broncos in his post-game conference, but. Yeah.
You just killed his whole moment of the week.
He was actually going hard.
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay, moving on. Kriski, moment of the week. Yeah, no one's to hear it, man.
Mine it was a clip that kind of went round after the game. So it was in the Pittsburgh game. So credit to the Pittsburgh Steelers, down 10-3 going into the fourth quarter, and ended up pulling it back. And Kenny Pickett throws a winning touchdown to George Pickens. But after the game, there's a clip of the offensive coordinator, Matt Canada, who has got no reaction on his face at all. Like, everyone in the booth is cheering, they've just scored a winning touchdown, and he's like fuming. So clearly, he's called a play, which Kenny Pickett or someone else has gone rogue.
Yeah.
And ignored him and then scored a winning touchdown off it.
And he's still pissed.
And mate, he was still pissed, and so one of the coaches nodded him saying, "Mate, you're on camera, like, look a bit happy."
Because he had nothing to do with him winning that game.
Yeah.
Surely they're not that. It's not that deep for him. Like.
No, but I think what made it certain that happened is because then Kenny Pickett, I think in his post game, was chatting around how he noticed some sort of setup on the defensive side, and he was like, "Oh, I read it." So then he basically.
Surely that's what a coach would want. I get not listening to the calls, but surely your quarterback is your second coach on the field, and when he reads the field. And he can make that snap decision. Granted, it might not always work out, but it did. You won the game.
The thing is, Matt Canada is being destroyed not only by the Pittsburgh fans but by the national media because they say that he's a terrible offensive coordinator. So
Be better.
So effectively, it's for his own ego. It's not even for the team.
Okay.
He wants for the winning play to be something he called. The fact that Kenny Pickett called an audible on the play and threw it to was it George Pickens?
Yeah,
threw it to George Pickens. It means that again, the Pittsburgh Steelers won despite him.
Yeah.
And that's what he doesn't like.
Yeah. I was going to say, until you said he called an audible on the field and it became evident that he changed the play.
Yeah.
Was it obvious he changed the play?
I wouldn't know because
well, if Matt Canada didn't do what he did on the field afterwards, then no one would have questioned. Surely no one would have questioned whether it was his call or not, and then he gets the props for it.
Yeah, but he was there.
Turning into a baby.
He's a stubborn little boy. Yeah.
I just think that's just really weak leadership from a coach. Like, your players playing well is exactly what you want, and then you coaching them or supporting them enough to feel confident in changing what they're doing and challenge you and make plays is what you want as an offensive coordinator. If you've harboured an environment where your quarterback feels comfortable doing that, that means you've grown as a leader and you've helped that team develop and that quarterback develop. That just shows just really weak leadership from.
Or unless it's just like potentially as well got a bit toxic in that changing room and locker room. Sorry.
Well, he's under a lot of pressure, isn't he, Matt Canada? So it can't be a particularly fun environment when you're the offensive coordinator on a team that has probably the worst offense in the league.
Yeah.
Doesn't look great.
So whereas in 49ers offense, they'll probably Kyle Shanahan would be like, oh yeah, bro, if you see something, go for it. You're comfortable, trust you. Whereas that, because it's not going to plan, it's then more seen on the he's going rogue against his coach.
I mean, the Steelers have not been good on offense all season. But it's all been down to their defense, especially Highsmith and TJ Watt.
That's the way Pittsburgh play though.
Yeah, I mean that's what Pittsburgh Steelers football, right?
It's Mike Tomlin football, like it's defense, and then we have to throw the ball sometimes.
So that was my moment of the week. I thought I quite enjoyed that one.
Okay, I'll go into I'll make mine relatively quick, but mine's just to give props to the tight ends this week. There's quite a lot of good performances, except mine and my fantasy, who I was just trying to look up and I can't even remember that guy's name. I don't even remember what his name is. He sucked though, he got 0 points. I went up again, and my matchup was against Kittle, which was great. Kittle 3 touchdowns.
3 receptions.
Yeah, 4 receptions.
No, 4 targets.
4 targets, 3 receptions, 3 touchdowns. Just what I wanted. Yeah. When he's had a very hit and miss season so far, I've got less than 5 points. Then he got a 16, then less than 5, and then 32 or something like that. Same stuff, man. Either way, it pissed me off. But some other good performances. Sam Laporta, rookie tight end, who might end up being the top tight end this season. Ben thinks. Travis Kelce is back to, I would say back to his close to his best. Another injury scare with rolled his ankle a little bit, but
he went back to the injury, didn't he?
Yeah, came back out and scored a touchdown, obviously, because that's what he does. Cole Kmet as well, and Dallas Goedert putting in big performances. Even in this time, I've still been trying to remember my Titans name.
Hunter Henry.
That guy. That's why it is. Yeah, so he's getting traded immediately. He got 0 points.
Wow.
It was so sad, and that's probably what's going to make me look. That and Justin Jefferson getting injured, which we'll get into.
When is National Tight End Day?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It's today.
Yeah, I was going to say, because it seemed like it should have been yesterday.
I'm ready for it. Yeah, there was some big performances. Really big performances, and that's my.
I love a tight end.
Yeah, that's my moment of the week.
So the end of October.
Okay, we'll have to remember that. Okay, that's our moments of the week. Let's get into Dami's fix-up list. I think the eagerly awaited fix-up list.
All right, so I've been told off that I'm not inspirational enough. I'm not trying to beat these players up and try and inspire them. So I will try to inspire the 3 teams or people on the fix-up list. However, I do have to say I will not be talking about another 3 teams or players ever again on the fix-up list because I've given up on them for this season. Wow. So Matt Jones, he will never be on the fix-up list again because he's trash.
Below the fix-up list.
Vikings offense, they can't stop committing turnovers. I'm done with them. And the Giants, moving on.
The Giants.
You're turning your back on your own team already. Week 5.
Yeah, I'm done.
Damn.
Wow.
I'm done. I mean, that offensive line got Daniel Jones injured yesterday.
He got murked.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
he might have
broke
another
his whole
neck injury.
off, yeah.
So yeah, they won't be turned up on the fix-up list ever again. So my first one for this week is the Ravens receivers. So going into week 5, they hadn't dropped a pass yet, and then they dropped 5 passes in this week, which is actually the most passes dropped for the Ravens since 2021. So it was a really bad game for their receivers. They 3 different players dropped passes that would have led to touchdowns, and they ended up losing by 1 score.
Yeah.
So it was a massive impact. Made Lamar Jackson look like he had a poor game when he actually didn't.
You know what, I'm going to just jump in because mine was Ravens as well.
Yeah.
And I was writing my notes throughout the game.
Yeah.
And it started off with, is Lamar sneakily having a great season? He had a rough sort of first game or 2 where he couldn't keep hold of the ball. And then he looked like he was playing quite well. And my notes were that the receivers are definitely letting him down.
Yeah, 100%.
They're letting him down.
100%.
And then he started throwing picks and fumbling the ball, and then I was like, just cross out everything and start again. It's similar to what I don't know if you want to compare it to Fields, but it's similar to Fields' performance last week where we were like, oh, he's having a great performance until he wasn't, and then now it's bad, especially because you've lost, and you were part of the reason why you lost, even though your team sucks as well or let you down.
Well, the thing is, he doesn't have a great record against the Steelers. Divisional matchup. He's now 2-4 against the Steelers, and we've said about divisional matchups. They're kind of like derby games, and it'll for some reason form goes out the window when you go into those games. But yeah, when his receivers are dropping passes, which should be touchdown passes, right? And especially Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews is his safety blanket, and him dropping that pass in the end zone. That was brutal. And then there was one from Nelson Aguilar, which was, as Stephen A. Smith would say, egregious. Egregious. And then Rashad Bateman also dropped such a simple pass as well.
They turned into week 1 Chiefs.
Yeah, literally they turned. Yeah, it was a really poor week for the receivers.
Just
so
garbage.
They need to fix up and improve. Next one, Sean Payton. I can't. For him to talk all that smack about Nathaniel Hackett and how he coached the Broncos last year, and for them to be 1-4, arguably the second worst team in the NFL right now, and to get beaten by a backup quarterback that no one believes in.
Yeah, not even himself apparently.
Yeah, not even himself. Like Sean Payton, you need to fix up, man. It's just not good enough. And I've actually looked at their next 4 games. They play the Chiefs, the Packers, the Chiefs. Sorry, the next 5 games: the Chiefs, the Packers, the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Vikings.
Wow.
I think they've lost like 16 games in a row to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So it's unlikely they're going to beat the Chiefs.
It's going to be 17.
The Packers are okay. They're a good enough team. I expect the Packers to beat them. They're not beating the Bills unless Josh Allen has one of his ropey games again. And then the Vikings, if Justin Jefferson's back,
He won't be.
okay. Well, actually, you'll bring us into injury corner. So they could be 1-9 by Thanksgiving, which is the 23rd of November. That, I mean, I know they've basically paid him $100 million, so they can't get rid of him. But they will need to have a serious conversation with him because that's just not good enough.
Yeah,
That's not good enough.
Yeah.
Dark times.
Yeah. So yeah, he needs to fix up. And then the last one, Dak Prescott. I said last week when I said that the 49ers Cowboys would be the game of the week, I was like, can Dak show up? Can the offense show up? He scored 10 points. 10 points. Every team that's played the 49ers apart from the Steelers has scored more than 10 points. Even the Giants scored more than 10 points.
He said even the Giants.
And the Giants,
Wow.
That stat's rough.
and the Giants stink right now.
Yeah, that stat's rough.
Mate.
Like he's got on the season he's got 5 touchdown passes and 4 interceptions. That is an awful stat.
Yeah.
That is so bad.
He threw 3 in this one game.
So
they got after him in that game.
Stats.
Stats are stats, man.
Yeah. Stats are stats. He's just not that guy, man. He's just not. Yeah. He's just not going to be, especially because there's actually that hype over Dallas at the moment to be a Super Bowl contender. It's just. No.
Okay, switch the quarterbacks. Does the result change?
Absolutely.
No, it doesn't.
No, San Francisco still gets on top, but I genuinely don't see Brock throwing 3 picks.
You don't think Brock throws 3 picks when he's got the 49ers?
Does he probably need to see? Granted, he's not playing his own defense.
No, he hasn't thrown one this season. No.
Has he got a good record of?
He's got the best QBR and passer rating in the league.
He's got the best left tackle. Michael Parsons didn't even get
He's still got to throw the ball.
Yeah,
he's got the.
I'm not denying he's got the best infrastructure around him, but he still just goes through the motions and just does everything so well.
So you genuinely think that Brock Purdy is better than Dak Prescott? If you switch them, the score gets closer together.
I think Brock Purdy is playing with a lot more confidence.
Yeah.
If you switched them tomorrow,
I don't know how much the score differs, but I genuinely think Brock just looks a little bit more capable in that role.
Man, I can't wait for Brock Purdy to get traded.
Well, Dak's
murked in every game.
That seems like he's a confidence player at the moment, though. He's someone with such experience. He shouldn't really be a confidence player.
This is a guy who's been in the league for 10 years.
What
and he's still not had a massive performance. I think he's won 1 playoff game.
Yeah, that's brutal.
So
how many's Brock won?
Yeah. And this is meant to be a very good Dallas Cowboys team.
Yeah, exactly. Match them up.
You're telling me that offense is actually not. Is terrible. That offense is actually pretty good. He's got decent weapons. Dak should be better than that.
He should do. Well, that's why he's on my fix-up list, because he should do better than that.
All right, I think we can talk about Dak Prescott for the rest of the night. So we're going to move on. We're going to keep it quite pacey.
Yeah.
Everyone else has got 1 because we're regular people.
Yeah, Dak.
In fact, I've even got 1 because mine was the Ravens as well.
As you can tell,
Lamar.
Dak was mine.
Digging out Dak.
Yeah,
I am.
Was Dak was yours?
Dak was
okay,
mine, 100%.
Are you done? Are you done?
Yeah, don't make me start.
You wouldn't say more?
No, I'm good. I'll just add that Lamar got sacked 4 times as well. Granted, he's playing TJ Watt and he's a sack machine, but he got sacked 4 times as well for a loss of 26. It's not good.
Yeah. His escapability as well. That's not.
Oftentimes it looked like he sort of gave up as well. Like he could have beat the charge or could have beat the tackle and it's sort of. Just I'm down.
It does look like he's being a bit more careful with his running. He's not moving as much.
Well, he's not going to get as injured as some of these other quarterbacks who are built the same, have the same sort of style.
Well, they still have over an 80% winning percentage when he plays. So I think he's just like, I don't need to run. If we lose a game or 2 here or there, I'll still get us to the playoffs
because I'll be healthy still.
Exactly. That's clearly his mentality and get paid as well. So pays for him to be healthy.
He's been getting himself injured every year because of his running. So he's got a new OC. He wants to throw it more. The sacks are going to happen. Yeah. The more you throw, the sacks are going to happen. They've never had a great offensive line, so it is what it is.
Okay, Ben.
So mine is a Patriots themed one. So Dami said he wasn't going to speak about Mac, and actually, mine isn't really specifically about Mac. It's about the Patriots offense as a whole. I think it's not just on Mac. People are blaming Mac, saying that he's not, that good a quarterback. And it's like, I agree, he's not that good a quarterback. I don't want to say it again, but you put him on the 49ers. I think you probably get a similar result with the 49ers. But what I will say is, Mac just doesn't really have any help. He's not getting any help. He's just put in a position to fail. Nothing is working on that Patriots offense. I don't know what Bill O'Brien's doing, but it's not working. Nothing's working. He's not got any wide receivers. That offensive line is starting to crumble. Nothing's clicking. How do you concede 34 to the Saints and not score a single point? That Saints defense is good. That offense has not been good. Whether they get absolutely cooked by the Bucks last week, 26-9.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying the Bucks are bad. Baker Mayfield was playing pretty well, and But do we really think that there's that big a swing in points that the Bucks win 26-9 and then the Saints then destroy the Patriots?
Yeah.
Or do we think the Bucks are going to win by 60 against the Patriots? Like, I don't know what's going on there. It doesn't add up for me. And there's going to be some changes coming soon. I think they're going to change quarterback. I think they're going to try and draft. I think they'll probably trade to try and get Drake May. Or maybe if Shad Sanders goes in the draft, they might try and take him. Or maybe Bo Nix from Oregon. But I don't think this is on Mac. I don't think he's a great quarterback. I think he's fine, but I think that they are putting more on him than it's his fault.
Well, sorry, go for
No, I was just going to say, I think he was so many mistakes in that, which can be down to a bad system, but also can be down to
trash quarterback.
Yeah, but you know the quarterback you have. Is what I would say. You're trying to make him be someone he's never been.
But you're going to try and play to his strengths that he doesn't have.
He does have strengths. It's harsh.
I'm joking. I've got no background for
I
that.
think the one that got me was like the pitch. I think it was out, and he just threw it right behind, like a yard behind the guy.
That's
like
fair.
you got to be able to make that pitch. If that's
that's fair. I'm not saying he's a top 10 QB. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is you know who you have. He's been around a while now, and they're trying to make him somebody he isn't, and then wondering why he's struggling. I'm like, I don't think you can put that on him. You knew who you drafted, and you've ridden with him this whole time. You dropped him for Bailey Zappi for part of last year. You also then got rid of Bailey Zappi and then brought him back, which we spoke about, and now you're benching him in games for Bailey Zappi at points. Well, he has no confidence and nothing's working in offense. You think Bailey Zappi's going to do any better? He is not.
But the only thing I'd say is there's like when it comes to like, for example, you're down 31-0. Taking him off and putting Bailey Zappi off is not going to really affect his confidence, right? He's already getting beaten 31-0.
That's valid. But they benched him quite early in the previous game as well.
Yeah, but they were probably down like 30,
yeah, they're getting
33.
Cooked. Yeah, so, they're getting cooked. But all I'm saying is, I think this is Patriots offense. I think this is on Bill O'Brien, and I think this is on Belichick. To be honest, I think this is on them.
Belichick, the GM, needs to be fired.
Something's not working.
As the head coach, he's fine. As the GM, the one who recruits the personnel,
it's not.
He needs to be fired.
He's not. Yeah,
he's not
they can't bring in offensive talent.
No.
It's not working.
No.
It's not working. Anyway, Patriots offense needs to fix up, but not Mac Jones specifically. But he could definitely be playing better.
Okay. All right, we'll go into the injury segment, and again we've had another week of a billion injuries. So I'm just going to try and speed through and talk through the major ones. I'm just going to go in the order I did it, because I think this is just the order that they happened in real time. Matt Milano, Bills defensive linebacker. He is. I think he's fractured his leg and potentially damaged his knee in various elements, but that's ruled him out for the season, which means that the Bills have now lost 2 key defensive players in consecutive weeks.
Yeah.
For the number 1 defense as well.
Yeah, it's rough. Rough. Anthony Richardson, again, we mentioned Lamar and how he's changed his style, or it seems like he's changed his style, accepting the sacks. When he gets sacked, being able to sort of fall out of it. Yeah. Similar with Tua in that avoiding concussions every time he got sacked by, I can't remember what jiu-jitsu. Yeah. So able to roll out and not slam his head on the ground. But Richardson, again, he's playing a risky game, and for the second time this season, he's injured now. So he fell on his throwing shoulder, and 2 defensive players fell on him.
Big boy.
So he's likely got an AC sprain, which is the same injury that Derek Carr had. But I think did Derek Carr come back the next week? I think last week was the next week. Well, this week was next week. Derek Carr came back, but it's unlikely that Richardson's going to be back for this week. So looks like Gardner Minshew's gonna be starting next week. And
to add to that Richardson one, we were saying actually in our kind of pre-chat that I hate saying it, but it feels like an RG3 situation for me. For anyone who doesn't know, so RG3 was a very talented quarterback. He played for the now Commanders, old Redskins, but running quarterback, looked like one of the best. He looked like a top 3 QB at the time when he joined. People were like, "This guy's nuts." I had him in fantasy in that year as well. It was back when I was playing fantasy. This was like 10 years ago. He was balling out. and then he got injury after injury after injury, and season ended within 3 seasons.
What's his actual name? Why do you call him RG3 for?
Robert Griffin III.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And do you want to know who
Career
his
ending.
backup was?
Can't mention.
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
I'll swear.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins.
Sort of
was
all he
his backup.
knows.
Yeah. I don't think he made it past 3 seasons. His career was over.
Yeah, he had to.
He had to retire. So he's making jokes about coming back. No one's picking him up.
No, rejects me.
But I'm just worried about Richardson because he looks talented. I don't want another talented quarterback out of the league from injuries just because he's playing
Risky ball.
just risky. No thought to your long-term career or what you're trying to achieve.
I mean, it is
long-term.
his first 5 games in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like it could take a little bit longer to adapt, but
You've got to coach that out of
Yeah.
him. You've got to unless you realistically think that you're like, we're going to the Super Bowl, we're going to even make a run in the playoffs. Which, admittedly, the Colts are 3-1 right now. But I think you have to be like, look, we are going to lose a couple of games because we're playing smart with you, but we're playing for the future of our team, not short term.
it may just be know when to slide and when to gain that extra yards.
Or when to
It's
throw it away.
Yeah, or throw away.
It's
But
coaching.
yeah, that'll come in time. Moving on, Emmanuel Mosley. I think this is the worst one of the week. So
It is.
Emmanuel Mosley made his first game back after tearing his ACL in week 5 of last season. Week 5 of this season, first game back, tears his ACL again.
Yes.
So he tore the other one.
But that's the thing. When I did mine, they told me that there's the percent that it could happen again was in both knees, and I was like, how's that make sense?
What, is that just like a compensation sort of?
I
It must be a
the
compensation.
compensation in general is crazy when you're recovering, but I don't know. But yeah.
Sorry, I'll just give you an update on Anthony Richardson. It's been listed as a grade 3 AC joint sprain. He's going to miss at least a month.
Rough. Yeah, rough. It looked like it hurt.
Yeah, that was tough.
Couple concussions, Mo Ali Cox, Tank Dell, Daniel Jones with a neck injury you mentioned earlier, just no protection. Khalil Herbert with an ankle injury, had it taped up heavily, tried to come back to the game, couldn't. Travis Kelce had a bit of a scare, caught the ball, rolled his ankle. I think it was thought to be sort of a low ankle sprain. Came off for a bit and he looked pissed.
He was raging.
Pissed.
Like, he was Taylor Swift in the stands.
He wasn't there. He wasn't there, that's why it was showing up.
He
She was
watching.
down at him, yeah.
She's watching.
But yeah, he came back on, scored a touchdown, of course he did. So he should be fine.
Just on that play where he scored the touchdown, I kind of briefly spoke about it earlier. Did it look like the coaches knew he was there? Because they said in commentary, they were like, he doesn't look like he knows where he's supposed to be lining up. He's just kind of jogged on. And it didn't look like the coaches knew he was meant to be there. Now, I don't know if that was kind of planned, but he just kind of wandered on and just kind of looked around. And then, like, as the ball was snapped, he just made a little dart and then got open.
Did they have more players on the field?
No, they had 7. I think he checked, but I was like...
With the Chiefs, they probably planned
They
that.
probably did, but...
Remember the ring around the roses?
That was jokes. But it just looked like...
Sure, it did work. There was a flag on the play.
Flag on play, like holding or something. It didn't look like he knew. It didn't look like he was meant to be there.
Did you see Kelce come on at the end for the So I think the Vikings were going for the Hail Mary pass, and he just brought him out. He brought himself on as a DB, and was just standing in the end zone.
Wow.
And then obviously
brought
the pass
himself
saving.
on with a little bit of an injury.
Yeah.
That's
guy.
Crazy. Just to finish up, just a couple more. James Conner knee injury, suspected MCL sprain, which is a couple of weeks, 3-4 weeks. Sauce Gardner also had a knee injury which didn't look good. I don't think we know what the injury was now, but it didn't look good. Justin Jefferson, hamstring strain, which is likely to be sort of a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks, which is the bane of my life at the moment because my my receivers are not good. And that's probably what's going to make me miss my lose my first game of the season, which is a bit rough, but hey, had to lose eventually. I think that'll do it. There's a lot of injuries. Like I'm just scrolling down, so we'll just leave it. Leave it there.
Doesn't look like long term ones though. They look like maybe like
doubtfuls
or questionables.
Besides Matt Milano, who's out for the season, and Mosley. So okay, we'll go into our predictions for next week, and we'll keep it relatively brief. I think a couple of us have picked Chargers, Cowboys, and Dami, I know you got a lot to say, so you go for it.
So yeah, Chargers, Cowboys, also known as the Kellen Moore Bowl.
You've got to stop doing this, man. You're just
I regret this immediately.
Can we do you want to move on?
Is this actually going to be a new thing throughout the season now? Just going to start naming bowls?
Just edit him out.
Yeah, I mean, if you keep messing around with offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators and they're moving teams, I want to keep calling them their name bowl.
All right, carry on.
Alright,
Make it quick.
yeah, but Bengals, they might be back. They looked good. They looked good in their last game. Chase and Burrow both excelling in their performance against the Cardinals. So if they win this game, they could get back to 3-3. And then when we are talking about the Bengals and Seahawks, Bengals, they look good, and the Seahawks are coming off a bye week and they look good. And then now we go back to the Chargers and Cowboys, which I just briefly skipped because I wanted to move off the Kellen Moore Bowl that you guys just told me off about. So the Chargers versus the Cowboys. I think that the Chargers, they've improved a lot. Keenan Allen is definitely a great weapon for them, and I think the Cowboys, coming off a massive loss, they need to fix up, as I've said, and I think that the Cowboys are going to come back with a vengeance. They're going to be after Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. They're going to be after Justin Herbert, and they're gonna try and destroy him. And I'm not too sure about that Chargers offensive line, so I think that's going to be the game of the week.
Yeah, just a quick one on that. It's going to be interesting, like you say. It's another spicy offense that the Chargers are coming, the Cowboys are coming up against. So if that defense doesn't stop that, do the Cowboys pretty much lose?
Wow.
That's
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have much faith in that Cowboys offense, especially since Kellen Moore went to the Chargers. So.
Ben's not sure about this one. He's doing some fact checking.
I'm not sure about this, to be honest, but
While you're looking that up, we both mentioned we both had ours as the Chargers, Cowboys. I'm happy for Dami's to be my point, but you also mentioned potentially Lions and Bucks.
Yeah, I just thought the Bucks coming off bye week, feeling fresh, and the Lions are going to go to them. So what? Lions are 4-1 and the Bucks 3-1. That could be a nice game. I think Baker Mayfield looking good this year, and that Bucks have just turned up, and yeah, so I think that could be one that could just surprise maybe the Bucks get a win, or just generally just a very good game which the Lions just edge out. So yeah, that's that was my alternative game of the week to the Chargers Cowboys really.
Okay. Right, we're gonna go into a new segment, which is bold takes. Ben, you came up with this one, so I'll let you give a little bit of a flavour for what it is, and you can go first.
yeah. So brand new segment. Some we'll try out. Bit of a bold take. So each week, at least one of us. I think this week we're all going to give one, but we'll give you something bold, like a really bold take, something a bit out there. If you do odds on favourite, I'm hitting you a bit as cap. You've got to do something a bit rogue, like something a bit out there that we think is potential to happen. Obviously, I'm not saying put loads of money on it, but something that we think could happen.
Does it have to be something that you can bet on?
No.
Okay, good. Mine isn't.
Yeah.
I'll bet you on it.
You can always bet on anything.
Yeah, we'll find a market, man. There you go.
Well, we can always find a market. But yeah. So you want me to go first? So mine was the 49ers to go 17-0.
Wow.
Which you can bet on. I had a look, and it's currently 12-1 on Bet365.
That's not outrageous.
12-1.
I wonder who the big teams they're going to face.
They'll all face the Bengals and the Browns.
The Eagles as well.
So surely they're going to come
I mean,
against
Bengals and Browns. I mean,
the Browns have a good defense, man.
I don't think it's really.
Browns have a good
That's
defense.
the Eagles matchup. That's the one, isn't it? Really?
That's the most exciting one.
Yeah.
Do you know what week they meet?
Who? Eagles.
Eagles and
So
49ers.
Eagles
I just made
is
that up.
no. They played the Eagles 5th game before, so 10th of December.
Okay.
Play them on 10th of December.
Okay.
I think that'll be very interesting. But that is that. Sorry, that's the Seahawks. Hold on.
3rd of December.
Yeah, 3rd of December,
Okay.
and it's in Philly.
Fair enough. Pretty bold.
Market.
And you put a bet on, so we'll have to keep posted on that because if they lose a game, you lose.
12-1,
Real
right?
punishment for predictions don't come in.
Alright, Kriski, that's it.
So, following on from my game of the week, back in the Bucks. Bucks to win a playoff game.
I did not know where you were going.
Wow.
Bucks to not only make it to the playoffs, but to win a playoff.
No, I think the Bucks will top the division.
Yeah.
Well, that's a road take in of itself. He's doubled down. That's a double bold take.
No.
He
Yeah.
says as he checks his
So
notes.
they are
South.
And the group.
NFC South, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the Saints.
Yeah. So yeah, they top the division. I don't think Falcons,
triple
Saints,
it
or
down.
Panthers.
You don't believe in your Falcons?
Nope.
After seeing them live,
so
he's
they,
like,
so they top, and I was on the way over, and I looked at the NFC teams. So it depends on who they face in the first round of the playoffs,
Yeah.
but could win.
Do you know what's most likely? They're going to end up being the 4th seed because they're going to probably have the worst record out of the division winners, and then they're going to end up playing the Cowboys.
Yeah,
the 5th
that's
seed.
what I genuinely was thinking. That because
They're not beating the
lose.
Cowboys.
my outrageous shout can't be for them to top the division because that division is just terrible.
yeah.
But you put them in the playoffs, and you never know if they do get a Cowboys or they get someone like a Seahawks or something like that.
Cowboys or Seahawks.
They could maybe just grind through a win. And I was like, you know what?
Okay.
Bold shout,
that-
but not
that-
outrageous. So
Fair enough.
But
there you go.
I think the bold take in of itself was them winning the division. They're currently third favourites in the division.
But they're top of the
four.
division.
Yeah, they're third favourites statistically.
That's rogue.
That's
Don't bet that. But
Put
yeah.
that on then.
That's a bold.
Bet.
statement.
Yeah, that's
I
wrong.
like it.
Win it and win a playoff game.
I like
Love
it.
that.
Alright,
Yeah.
cool. Dami.
So mine is Brock Purdy to win MVP of the league.
Have we turned him? Do you think?
Oh no, you haven't turned me.
What?
I can see where it's going.
Well, mine was Brock Purdy to be a top 10 QB by the end, be accepted as a top 10 QB in the league. In the league, MVP.
Wow.
Do you know what? He is 5th favourite in the MVP voting. He is well ahead of Justin Herbert and
think,
McCaffrey.
What?
yeah. I think they are going. The 49ers are going to lose max 2-3 games. They're going to have the best record in the NFL, and you can't give the quarterback of the best team in the NFL. You can't not give him the MVP. And I think he's just going to get the MVP, even though he's not the best quarterback or the best player in the league.
Who does the voting?
It's a select group of like journalists and like ex-professionals and things like that. They're like a group of people.
Is it one where the MVP is generally accepted and agreed that they're
They all
they're
vote.
the person?
Yeah, they
No, as in the public.
usually, yeah.
Yeah.
Usually, yeah. It's a quarterback.
Yeah. Hence why
yeah.
McCaffrey's down.
Yeah,
Down.
McCaffrey's 18-1, even though he
Yeah.
will win Offensive Player of the Year if
Yeah.
he keeps going at his pace.
Yeah.
He won't win MVP though. It's a quarterback award.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might as well just call it quarterback of the year.
I don't know why they don't, but yeah, I
Yeah.
think
Okay.
Brock Purdy's going to win it because
Interesting.
they
I
have
mean,
the best record.
It goes in line with,
Yeah, it does.
with
It
yours,
depends.
17-0.
There you go,
Yeah.
17-0, win the Super Bowl.
Oh, I don't think even if they go 17-0, he'll win MVP. But still, I love that take.
No,
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
bold. Love to see it.
What about mine?
Yours is a soft bolt.
Yeah,
like,
but
compared to
mine-
Dami,
yeah, but it blew mine out.
exactly. Exactly.
I mean, I want to change it.
Sorry, can you just explain your take one more time?
Mahomes Mountain, he is in the top 10 comfortably. Actually, is he in the top 10 comfortably now? He might be.
Sorry, as in who's Mahomes Mountain? As in
Nick Wright's.
Nick Wright's Mahomes
Yeah.
Mountain. You think he's going to be in the top 10 on that?
Yeah.
Nick Wright's never put him in the top
Yeah,
10.
Nick Wright's
Just
never
out of
put him
spite,
in the
he
top 10.
really
I
just
mean,
Nick Wright's never
I
put him in
mean,
the top 10.
generally accepted by the people that he is a top 10 quarterback in the league.
I think people are starting to say he's not just a game manager.
Yeah.
That he can actually make some good throws. Personally, I think me and Ben, we both still think he's a game manager. And
Yeah,
I
but
think you can put a lot of quarterbacks in that position.
That's
and
fine.
it wouldn't be
People
worse.
think he's a system player, but he's performing that system to the max. Like he's
Yeah.
performing the system.
Yeah,
Like
no,
what's wrong with that?
absolutely.
Yeah,
What can you do in
yeah.
your job than do and perform the system?
Nothing.
Like,
That therefore doesn't make you the MVP. Nick Wright had a really good take that I was listening to last week.
MVP was his.
Earlier this week. Yeah, fair. Listening to earlier this week, which was if you're not even the best player on your team, how can you be the MVP? Who's the best player on the team?
It's a throw up. I mean, I don't. Is he by far the best
I
player on
would
the
say,
team?
yeah.
CMC is the best player on
CMC.
the team. Yeah, CMC's the best player on that team.
Oh,
And then probably the left tackle.
Or Bosa.
And then probably Bosa.
Yeah.
So we think probably realistically he's the fourth best player on their team, and you want to make him MVP. Who's the best player on the Chiefs?
Paddy Mahomes.
Yeah, it's not even close, is it? Yeah, you're like Travis Kelce's pretty good, and Chris Jones is pretty good. Or you'd still take Patrick Mahomes every single day in the draft.
True.
Well, who's the best player on the Bills?
Josh Allen. Comfortably.
Stephon Diggs is pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We will be coming back to
For your bold takes.
We'll circle back to these.
Taking names out here.
I'm
keeping
sure the
these
Brock
receipts.
Purdy debate will be going on
For the rest of time. We're going to be 20, 30 years down the time. He's going to be retired, and we're going to still be questioning whether he's a top 10 quarterback in his time. But let's finish up with Ben's bankers. Go for it, Ben.
Yeah, just very, very quick summary. The Thursday game was an absolute bust. No one expected it to go that way. I definitely didn't. It was an absolute mess from a betting standpoint. Sunday's tips, though, damn were we close. We won on everything except for 2, and those 2 both were very close. It was the receptions from the running backs, which was Alvin Kamara, who got 13 receptions last week, got 3 this week. So I had him to have 5, or we had him to have 5. And then Bijan Robinson to have 3. He's been getting 4 every game pretty much comfortably, and he got 1. They didn't use him in the passing game at all.
Yeah.
Really weird. Don't know why. All the rest of it came in. We were so close to 117 to 1. But I'm telling you, one of these is going to come in soon. I'm getting real close.
Only if I stop betting on them, because I bet on that.
Please stop, man.
Pete.
We told you
What do you want from me? I want to make some money too.
Yeah, but you're not going to.
You're not. We had a rule.
Ruin everything, man. We'll keep going, but I think I'm going to get one soon because I'm getting real close.
If not, Dami's gonna have to take over, and
Yeah,
no one wants that.
Oh, damn, no.
Well, I'm leading the predictions.
Yeah, game winners.
Yeah.
And getting a lot of them wrong. If you were to bet a bet on that, you'd still lose.
Yeah.
Say you all about the Cardinals this week, and I was the only one that backed the Bengals.
All right, get over it. Carry on, Ben.
Damn. So, as usual, Thursday betting tips will be up now for the Thursday night game, which is, I don't actually know who's playing Thursday. Who is playing Thursday?
It is the Broncos at the Chiefs.
Yeah, that's going to be a juicy one. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is going to ball out all over him, and Pacheco's going to get some yards in that. So
is Jarrett McKinnon.
Jarrett McKinnon.
Yeah, he hasn't got on in my team yet. He's right at the bench.
So yeah, those will be up, and then as usual, the Sunday tips will be up on Saturday.
Awesome.
Cool.
Right?
Lovely.
Anything else?
No, crap.
That's it.
Boys, enjoyed that one.
Nice one.
Hey, until next time.
As always, yeah, drop a like, tell a friend to tell a friend. A review's always nice, and yeah, we'll catch you in the next one.
And we might actually be at the next game on Sunday. So see that.
Yeah. Catch you in the
Enjoy
next
it.
one.
Have a good week.
See you.